Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the nodal axis of Rahu and Ketu, and specifically if you will find Rahu to be placed in the second house and Ketu to be placed in the 8th house of your chart. So guys, now as you know that Rahu and Ketu plays a very strong role in shaping up our destiny. A lot of the things which we cannot understand with a rational mind, a lot of the things which have not been a part of our plan, but when suddenly things come in our life, all those surprise events, all those sudden events somehow are being connected with the Rahu and Ketu, because they definitely have a stronger say over our past life actions, past life deeds as well, and because of them only we are born in this lifetime again. So guys, like in the previous video when I talked about Rahu and Ketu's axis in the 1st house and the 7th house, that was a different discussion, because if nodal axis is there in your 1st house and the 7th house, that means in a way they have got a control over your complete life. I even gave my example as well. In my case, what better reference you want in order to see the grip of a planet in someone's life? Not only my moon nakshatra is of Rahu, but Rahu is also tightly conjunct with my Lagan ascendant degrees as well. So when we were talking about that placement, that was controlling your complete life. But now moving on, a specific pieces of your life are going to be in the control, in the influence of nodes of Rahu and Ketu. And specifically guys, if I were to say, this could be a very extreme axis placement of Rahu and Ketu, like whether if they are working in a constructive, in a positive way, in a higher octane, they can actually give you magnanimous wealth, they can give you very good results. And let's say for example, if this axis is working out, your soul has accumulated so much karma which needs to be experienced in this lifetime, then this can actually create a havoc in someone's life. So why I am saying this thing, you will very soon get to know. So guys, first we will take our discussion towards the house where Rahu is placed. So guys, beyond doubt, you know this thing that Rahu is an amplifier, Rahu is a planet of obsession, Rahu is a planet of materialism and your material growth in this lifetime. Now second house, because it is also the house of your finances, it is also the house of your earning. So one thing is for sure that in your livelihood, some element of Rahu has to be there. Now whatsoever Rahu represents, whether this could be technology, foreign trade, foreign influence, media, marketing, social media, all of that has to be a part of your livelihood, because the planet's presence over there is giving us that indication. Now guys, because second house also tells about our early childhood experiences as well. So let's say for example, if you have experienced Rahu's dasha at the first half of your life. Now this could be because your moon is placed in the nakshatra of Rahu. That means that your first Mahadasha as per the Vimshotri system was of Rahu. Or let's say for example, the planet which is placed in the second house, you started your life with the dasha of that planet. Then definitely guys, like this is a typical combination where I have seen the parents of people who have this placement to be very worried when kids and teenagers get spoiled very early in their life, like you know, access to alcohol, access to smoking and all these things. So that could be one of the indication of Rahu's placement in the second house not working out in a constructive way. Because guys, when we talk about Rahu's domain working out in a constructive way, so we have also experienced all those child prodigy as well, who at a very young age they start demonstrating some exceptional talents. So this could be responsible for that as well. But in 90% of the cases, kids and teenagers getting spoiled very early could be a connection with this placement of Rahu in the second house. Second thing is that guys, because second house also tells about your facial charm as well. So Rahu's presence over there, and let's say for example, if it is placed in the sign of Venus, sign of Mercury, it can also give a very hypnotic attraction in your personality, on your face, which can be utilized if you want to build a media career as well. Apart from that guys, I have already explained the eating habits. Like with this kind of placement, I have met many people who are like driven towards very exotic, very fine food, very fine alcohol, wine and liquor. So very exquisite taste in the matters of food, drink and wine has also been seen in the charts of people who have Rahu placed in the second house. Third thing is that, guys, definitely, because second house tells about your family values, your tradition, values and all. So if this combination is not working out in a constructive way, so person might have a very rebellious way of looking at his ancestry, looking at his family tradition and values. Now guys, when we talk about making money, that too from whatsoever means, and if this axis is working out constructively in a positive way, this combination can give you a lot of wealth. And guys, the good part over here is that when we talk about wealth which comes from the second house, or when we will soon take our discussion to the 8th house, over there our family environment also has a strong say over there as well. So now this could be you are born in a very wealthy family, or your uncles or your paternal uncles are helping you, supporting you. And when we will reach the 8th house tells about your joint resources with your partner, with your spouse. So just from the material point of view, this could be a very blessed placement. And also guys, we all have seen all those orators. You will find a very charm, a very hypnotic attraction in their voice. So Rahu's placement in the second house could be responsible for that as well. Now guys, when we talk about the yogas which are required to be a politician, so different people have different inputs over there. Many people say that it's only the Saturn, but these days as we are seeing that politics has reached and elevated to a level of diplomacy. So Rahu's placement in the second house will not make you a liar, but it will make you very diplomatic. That is the only reason, if you want to become a successful politician, you need Saturn to amass the support of the masses, and then you need the Rahu to manage all those relations and all that power very diplomatically. So yes guys, these are some of the traits which you will find with this placement of Rahu in the second house. So for the material and the wealth point of view, this is a very good combination. But when it comes down to all the traditional orthodox communities, where you want your progeny, your child to follow a prescribed path, or you want your child to be very very disciplined towards your instructions and all of that. So over there, this placement of Rahu in the second house can create a lot of issues and concerns over there. Now guys, now comes the sensitive part. See guys, if I were to say, if in this sensitive alignment and axis, if one planet has to be in a strengthened way, that has to be Rahu, because Ketu in the 8th house becomes exceptionally powerful. And again guys, we never find any problem when planets are working out in a constructive way, specifically malefic planets. But if they are hard bent on creating problems, in bringing miseries and difficulties in our life, then 8th house Ketu can actually create a lot of problems in the life, and majority of the which you cannot even understand with a rational mind. So guys, let's first try to understand the attributes of the Ketu. So definitely Ketu is chiefly responsible for your male progeny. Ketu is responsible for your intuition. Even when we talk about our body, so urinary concerns or your backbone, the joints of the body are somehow connected with the Ketu. When we talk about all sort of third power, third entity problems, any problems of spirit possession and all these kind of psychological problems, somehow Ketu is connected with them as well. So now guys, the good part of this placement is that if, let's say for example, this axis is working out constructively in your case, and over and above that, for Ketu to function in a benefic way, the only thing which you have to look at in the chart is not only the sign in which Ketu is placed in the 8th house, the dispositor of the Ketu, that in which dignity it is placed, and most importantly in which dignity Jupiter is placed in the chart. Let's say for example you are a Sagittarius Lagna and you have like Jupiter and Ketu being placed in the 8th house. Nothing could be better than this. This person will be a walking saint. Even in his speech, in his promises, in his blessing, there is going to be strong divine power. So yes guys, a lot will be dependent on that. And let's say for example, with this placement, if you have Jupiter aspecting the 8th house, then Ketu will remain controlled. So but yes guys, the general way, the results which have been written, and because when it comes down to Ketu, caution is something which you have to follow. So like dogs, you have to be very caring towards the dogs. Having a dog as a pet can also be considered. Saffron, like the Lal Kitab remedies are like putting a tilak of saffron or consuming saffron in your tea, in your milk, in your coffee can also be considered. And being very respectful towards your maternal grandfather and all those people who have got some spiritual authority, spiritual power, or they are in the occupation of the spirituality or religion. Now guys, as I was talking about, see guys, when we talk about the intuitive faculties which comes from Ketu's placement in the 8th house, it has more to do with giving you an indication of some negative event in advance. Like because intuition could be that where your sensory organs are giving you information in advance of some happy auspicious occasion. But Ketu in the 8th house give many times intuition and intuitive faculties guiding you or warning you of some ill event. Like for example, your whole family wanted to make a plan for a road trip or camping or any nature connected trip, but suddenly at the last moment you withdraw the whole plan, and just because of you the plan got cancelled. And had you guys gone there for that trip, you would have gotten entangled into any natural calamity. So this is the kind of intuition, like any virus, any infection, any events of accidents. So your intuitive faculties remain very aware, very much sensitive towards incidents of accidents, life and death and all of that. And generally the way it has been written that these people, they get a pre-indication. See, one thing is for sure that Ketu in the 8th house is responsible for giving you long life. So nothing wrong in that. Like same way, like the way we believe it for the Saturn's placement in the 8th house, that it gives you long life, same way Ketu is responsible and capable of that as well. The point which I am saying over here is that if you are destined to take your last breath at the age of 75, so just a month before or weeks before, you will start getting indication of that now my last moment and time has come. Apart from that guys, with this kind of placement, natives relationship with the in-laws tend to remain very sensitive, very volatile. So a lot will be dependent on that, how other planets are contributing. But just because you know that you have got this placement, so your attitude, your approach towards all the elements being represented by Ketu has to be very, very respectful. People complain me that my Saturn is not giving good results, I'm already having issues of my paternal property and I have filed so many cases against my paternal uncle. So through this way you're damaging your Saturn more. So whatsoever conduct we have to we have to behave in the society, you have to keep on doing that, but do not hold resentment within you connected to the planet which is already giving you problem, because that is also one of the alternative remedy to appease the energy of that planet. So yes guys, and apart from that, Ketu in the 8th house, we have discussed the concept of intuition, we have discussed the attributes of like joint resources, and also guys, when it comes down to anything to do with the religious and spiritual austerity. So definitely you can be a very good tarot reader, you can be a very good astrologer, and specifically any of those occupations and profession where dealing with the paranormal activities, dealing with the spirit or spirit communication is required. So this placement of Ketu in the 8th house, if it is working out in a constructive way, it can actually make you a master in all these kind of esoteric kind of activities. And lastly guys, I generally say this thing that when you have Ketu placed in the 8th house, so any of the amulets and gemstone and the all these quach, they actually work out very constructively. So you have to also give attention to that. Again guys, if I were to say in this axis, Rahu is still capable enough of giving you good material success. So let's say for example, if with this axis you have your moon to be placed in Rahu's nakshatra, or your ascendant lord is conjunct with Rahu in the 2nd house, all these are still a very benefic kind of placements which can be responsible for giving you success in this lifetime. But let's say for example with this axis, your ascendant lord is conjunct with Ketu, except the Jupiter. If your ascendant lord is conjunct with Ketu in the 8th house, your moon nakshatra is of Ketu, let's say your moon nakshatra is already like Mula, or moon is conjunct with Ketu in the 8th house, then you have to remain very cautious and very careful. You have to do the remedies. And generally it has been seen that if Jupiter is not balancing out this 8th house Ketu, so problems concerning around progeny or male progeny and concerns of infection, viruses, reproductive related problems and all, and lot many times it has been seen that when it comes down to sexuality as well, it gives a very whether it's about the sexual orientation or in the matters of sexuality as well, it gives very unusual kind of taste and inclination to the native. Now guys, when it comes down to the remedies and the divine protection, so definitely when it comes down to Rahu, we say that the worship of goddess Durga is very beneficial. Same way worship of Lord Ganesha is very beneficial for appeasing the energy of Ketu. But apart from that guys, this is a kind of a very esoteric kind of combination. So in totality, worship of Lord Shiva, recitation of Mahamrityunjaya mantra actually act as a panacea to control the energy of this axis. So yes guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.